What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of All Out American. I'm back with Sean.
The one and only.
The one and only. So, tell me what this bet you have going on with Tatum is and how it came to be.
Okay, let me break it down. So, the lovely Tater that everybody knows, that apparently is more popular than me, he decided one day that he thought he was in the lead as far as views went. Well...
And I have not shared
by the way,
numbers with anybody.
Yeah, no. So the only time we knew numbers was at the start of this, but Tatum nor myself know what's going on. But so, yeah, Tatum thought he was in the lead. Cody decided to prove him wrong, that I was in the lead by one view.
One fucking view.
One view. And so Tatum and I had decided that we were going to make a bet, and it was whoever had, and this is between episodes 1 and episode 3. So it was the first episode that Tatum was on and the first episode I was on. And whoever got the most views by the end of the month wins. Well, we decided to bet on that, and the bet, Tatum was the one that brought it up because he had seen this happen somewhere else.
So is this the most views at the total, or whoever gains the most? I guess it doesn't matter. It's
just whoever won. Yeah. So with so what we were gonna do, Tatum brought it up, was the loser, guy with the less views, has to take out a blow up doll to dinner. I of course agreed to it, and then we also decided that we had to make it a restaurant that we would never show our face at again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what's your idea?
So I talked to Tatum. I was like, hey, how are we going to do this? Are we going to, like, last minute, like once we find out, just be like, all right, this is where you need to go? And he goes, let's figure it out right now. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So we're trying to think, what restaurant in town would we never show our faces at? Nor ever go ever again.
It's got to be somewhere chill, too, that's going to let you even get in the door.
Do you know what I threw out and what he agreed to?
What?
Red Lobster.
Oh, no. That won't even let you in the door.
Okay, that's why we bring the blow-up doll not blown up.
And you blow it up in the booth?
While we're in the booth.
I thought, so you're going to go in with no clothes on the blow-up doll?
No, it would have clothes on it. Just clothe it and then deflate it and then bring it in.
Put it in a backpack or something?
Yeah, put it in something.
And table for one, which is hilarious.
No, table for two. So then they think you're going to have a date show up, and then you blow up the doll, and there you go. You've got your second chair filled.
Oh, my gosh.
So, and now we're trying to figure out what kind of blow-up doll we're going to do.
Boy or girl?
Yes, but Tatum said that they have a midget blow-up doll at Spencer's.
It's little person.
Okay, little person. I know Jeremy's going to be offended by that. But so, yeah, there's that. Jonathan suggested an Antonio Banderas blow-up doll.
I know, he's all over that one.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Tatum doesn't know who Antonio Banderas is. It's fucking youth nowadays. But, yeah, so we're trying to figure out what kind of blow-up doll we're going to go with. But yeah.
So the other two get to get a table before you.
Yeah.
And we got to try and make it to where we sit in the same section.
Yes.
So, how would we do that? How would we make sure we're in the same section?
That's a solid... I don't know. I don't know how we would do that.
We got to basically show up together, but you're behind us, and they'll be like, oh, for 3, and we're like, no, 2.
Yeah.
And then you go.
Yeah.
And say it's for 2.
Right.
Maybe they'll put us at the same section. Oh, man. Oh, I'm embarrassed, and I'm not even doing it.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. Although, speculation, everybody wants Tatum to lose.
At work?
Yes.
Why?
Because they think he'd be more awkward with it.
How do you think you would do with it?
Oh, I would.
You think you're going to own it? Like,
I will. No, I'll own it. There's no questions asked. I'm not even going to.
So what's the punishment if the loser bails and doesn't go through with this?
Ooh, that's something we didn't talk about.
Because I have a feeling it's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, if we're going through with it, but then the restaurant is like, nah, you guys need to get the fuck out, then we'll have to figure something out.
Like go shopping in Walmart carrying it or something.
Or go eat at Golden Corral because they'll let anybody in.
Yeah. Or Burger King or.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Something.
gosh. I'm excited.
But yeah, as far as punishment goes, I don't know what we're going to do.
You guys just have to do it.
Yeah. Like there's no other option.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
Or if you don't do it, loser has to duct tape the doll to the hood of their truck.
And drive around with it.
And drive around
That's
with
not
it.
as...
Yeah, but still.
I think like walk around downtown, around the square.
Ooh. Whiskey Row on a Friday night, going to
Taking
the
the
bars.
blow up top to a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, is it really hopping anymore now that COVID?
Dude, it's Prescott. Of course it's hopping.
All right. I'm in. I can't wait to videotape it.
Oh, I know.
So let's see. It's not this weekend. The following week. So you have, when this airs, you have a full week and then a half a week.
Yeah.
Until it's up.
Yeah.
So when are we going to do the punishment? That next weekend, like the first or what is that, the third or the fourth?
Yeah. Well, so what I was thinking is try to do it on a night that like the restaurant's not super busy, because then the chances are we'll be able to be seated close to each other. And I mean, it'd be funnier if it was busier.
A lot of people.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there'd be less of a chance we would get kicked out as quick with less people in there. Like, so I don't know. But yeah, maybe a weeknight after dinner. But then also if we do it after work, everybody's going to come to dinner.
Oh yeah, we can't tell anybody. Right?
Well, everybody at the shop knows.
Right, but
But
can't
they
tell
just
them
want to
when.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't tell them when we're doing it or they'll show up.
Right. And make it very apparent.
That'd be funny. We're all at different tables. We all stand up. Don't make him leave. That's love.
Yeah.
You bigoted bastard. We stand up for him.
Right.
Him, you, whoever it is. I'm saying him in the sense of I don't know who it is.
Right. Well, you do know who it is so far, but
Well, so far, but
yeah.
I don't know who's going to pull it out
Yeah.
over at the end, you know. Somebody could take the lead again.
Yeah.
I'll say this. One of you had a big jump, and then the other guy is more consistent and is encroaching on the guy who had a big pop.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, and we've been having this discussion. So I have 1,100 more followers than he does.
So you're trying to pump it out there?
Yeah, so I'm trying to pump it out there. So to all my followers, please, for the love of God, download my episode 3.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise you won't regret it. I will do a live feed during the dinner, so you get to watch all of it unfold live.
Oh, yeah, we can do live on
Yeah.
on the Instagram page.
Yep.
That's a good idea. So we'll have to announce the winner
Yep.
and then let them know the time.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys brought this to me. Like, I had nothing to do with it. You
I
just
know.
brought it to me, and you're like, here's what's going to happen. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. I don't even know why that became a thing. We were just like, yeah, let's bet on it. And then he just threw that out there, and I was like, you know what? I can't top that. So,
That sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bet. Well, it'll be exciting. It's going to drive traffic.
Yeah.
That episode. Oh, so what we need to do is that weekend. Let me back up. We'll do it on the 31st
Mhm.
or the 1st. We should have a podcast with the three of us, and I'll announce who won
Okay.
on the show.
Okay. Should we do a live feed of it too?
Yeah.
All right.
And then that way you guys have no clue. You get to find out on the show live reaction.
Right. All right. I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, it needs to be the first so we can get the 31st numbers in.
Well, yeah. And the fact that we all get to have a fun time on the 31st.
What are we doing?
Staying for inventory?
Oh. Oh. You're not going to stay late. Don't worry.
No.
It's
No.
over by 3:30.
Yeah, well.
They just scare you that you got to stay till 7. And then next weekend is my bachelor party.
Yes.
This upcoming weekend.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Oh, shit. Are you going to be able to come to the Friday night
Yeah.
party?
Yeah.
Sweet. All the older guys, I think, are bailing, so I think it's just going to be a house party with all of us.
Cool.
Start inviting more people.
Yeah, and to the asshole that texted at 6 o'clock this morning to the group chat.
Terry?
Oh, God.
Why? You weren't up by then?
No, I wasn't.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, I was like half-ass awake, but then when my phone goes off that early, I usually think like, oh, shit, there's an emergency.
He's not an asshole. Come on.
Well, since it's Terry, no, he's not.
I thought I was being bad by texting everybody at 8.
Right?
And then I texted a bunch of people. They never even answered.
Yeah, no, I never answered either.
You know? Dally was the only one. He was like, right on. And then I saw him today. He's all excited. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah, no, I'll be there Friday and Saturday. And
Come back early Sunday.
yeah.
2-day bachelor party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Please tell me. Please tell me.
Oh, I'll please you.
Please tell me it involves a zoo animal somewhere. Is there a giraffe I need to know about?
No,
Is there going to be a tiger in the bathroom like The Hangover?
maybe.
That'd be awesome.
It depends on how wild we get Saturday night.
We'll go break into the Phoenix Zoo. I don't care how much I drink. I'm not breaking in and stealing a tiger.
We here do not condone theft of animals.
We do not. Borrowing animals,
Yeah,
however.
borrowing. That's a different story.
You can borrow it, just take it back.
Yeah.
Or Mike Tyson might show up and knock you the fuck out. I don't think Mike Tyson owns the Phoenix Zoo. I think we'll be
No.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that should be a fun night. I'm still trying to figure out if we're gonna do Benihanas or not.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
Did you look up prices?
yeah, it's like depending on what you get, anywhere from like 30 to 120 a person. But I mean, it's like if you go to PF Chang's or like Yard House, it's relatively the same.
Nobody wants to go?
No, I told everybody, and they seemed like they were cool with it. So
I mean, I would be down for Yard House. Would be a fun one.
right.
But I think Benihana's would be funnier and
Oh yeah,
more memorable.
right. Well, yeah, people trying to catch shit getting thrown at them.
Should we make a reservation?
Yeah, I was gonna wait till it got a little bit closer and then call in because I doubt they're that busy.
Like this weekend
Yeah,
or something?
because it's 20 minutes up the road. Because it's at Scottsdale Road and Frank Lloyd Wright.
What we got to do is convince a guy to let one of you guys try it.
No, try to cook.
All right, bud, move over. Let me do it.
Yeah,
Let me show you how it's done.
just God, that'll end bad.
Get Dally to do it with his cowboy hat on
Right.
and be like, oh, you move over. Let me show you something. Let me show you a little something.
Yeah, freaking. Yeah, so it was either that or Twin Peaks, but everybody seemed like they were just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever we choose, we'll do.
Yeah, we'll go to one of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting.
Yep.
So what's going on in Sean's world? I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't even seen you.
I know.
We
It's
work in the-
amazing. We work within what, like 30 feet of each other?
I know, and I don't see you.
Yeah.
It's so busy.
Well, I'm going to Vegas this weekend.
You are?
Yeah.
I was in Vegas last weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I warmed it up for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
What do you-
How was it? Was it pretty busy?
We didn't actually go down to the strip.
Oh.
We went to Sunset Station,
Oh,
just
okay.
casino down there.
Yeah.
It was pretty busy, but nothing crazy.
Right.
Very mask conscious.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So, what are you going for?
Just for the weekend to hang out and have fun.
Just you?
Nope.
Your Latin lover?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Rico,
Ah, got it.
a.k.a. Papi Chulo.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just the two of you?
Yeah. You know.
Where are you staying?
The Aria.
Dang, deep
Yeah.
pockets on
Yeah.
Sean over here.
No, it wasn't that bad. Surprisingly enough, the hotels right now are like really cheap.
Yeah, because no one's staying there.
Mhm.
I always said, I was telling Dally when we were there, I said, you could fill the Oreo with water and not a single person would drown.
Yeah.
And I was meaning it as in their noses were so stuck up. And Dally's like, why? Because they're all made of rubber. They'd all float. The Oreo is so prestigious.
Yeah.
I can't afford to gamble there, dude. I got to go over to Planet Hollywood.
Right.
Walk across the street. Go somewhere where I can afford to play.
Right. Yeah, no, it was just a last minute ordeal where we were like, fuck it, let's go.
Leave Friday after work.
Yeah.
2 nights there.
Yep.
Come back Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, Snapple Dapples.
Yep. Should be fun. Need a vacation, so figured why not?
Do you like to gamble?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No.
So what are you going to do? Just go hang out?
Yeah. Just go hang out, sightsee, fuck around. I mean, I gamble. I just don't really care to.
People watch?
Yeah.
Are you going to play poker with us when we do it?
Yeah, no, I'll play poker with you. Just won't have any fucking money, but
$20. That's the buy-in.
okay.
That's all it is. $20.
Good. Yeah, no, I play like the stupid slot machines and stuff. I don't go and sit at tables.
I don't like sitting at tables either, but this last weekend, that's all I did was sit at tables. But sat down at my favorite game, was Crazy 4 poker.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's based off a 4-card draw. So you only need 4 to get a straight or 4 to get a flush rather than 5.
Right.
And all you need to do to win anything is just beat the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a pair of 2s, you bet. And then if you have anything that beats a pair of queens, you can triple your initial bet. And so if you get anything good, which is you'll get a flush or straight or 4 of a kind, you can triple your bet and it pays out pretty big.
Nice.
So I sat down, I played for like maybe 10 minutes, if that, and made like $70. I was like, okay, I'm out. And that was slow playing.
Yeah. No, last time I played in Vegas, I put $100 in a machine within 2 minutes, lost it, and I was like, I'm done. That was it.
It can go pretty quick.
Yeah. But I was playing at the casino here one time, and I put in $20, and I won like 370.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
I got a funny story. We went, Dally, Ronnie, and I went to Vegas this one time, and Ronnie had never been to a casino, I don't think. Or maybe he had, but the only thing he played was roulette.
Oh, yeah.
And so I convince him. I'm like, all right, let's go play some machines and warm up. And he's like, I'm not playing the machine. They're rigged. You can't win anything on that. And I'm like, no, dude, trust me. And he's like, I'm not playing a machine. The odds are so far against you. So I tell him, I'm all, dude, last time I was here, I put a $20 bill in. I hit it 3 times and won $180. And he was like, whatever. And then Dally said the same thing and told him these stories of how we got all this money.
Right.
So I walk him over to the machine that we won on. And I'm all, this is the machine. I put $20 in. I hit it. And I won $65 or something like that. And the first hit. So I cashed out. I was all, oh, I'm done. He's like, all right, you got me. So he sits down at the same machine, puts his $20 in, hit nothing, hit nothing, hit nothing. 4th time, won like $147.
Oh, shit.
He's like, holy shit, I love machines. So he would just walk around the casino. He'd win like $1 or $2 and cash out. And he's like, machines are fun, man. And the people bring you drinks.
Right.
So he would like scope out where the drink lady was and then like run in front of her and sit down on a machine and be like, oh yeah, I'll take this. And then not play till she got back, play a little bit.
Right.
I was like, it didn't take you long to figure Vegas out.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That's what I used to do too at one of the casinos, the Silverton. That's like way down.
Yeah.
And
is that on the strip or is that
no, it's
on
off the strip.
Fremont?
No, it's not on Fremont. It's south.
Oh,
Of
okay.
the strip. It's by the airport.
Oh,
But
really?
it's a really nice place. But I would do that. I would go and sit at the bar and pretend like I'd put like $20 in, and I would just sit there and I'd get like $8 blended margaritas, and I shit you not, I probably, if I would have charged it to the room, it would have been hundreds of dollars, but I didn't have to pay for them because I was sitting there playing. So they're like, oh yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
Just tip them good. You're paying $4 for a tip,
Yeah.
and they're like, hell yeah, and you're saving $18 on a tequila Red Bull or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I was playing at a Planet Hollywood. That's my favorite place to go because they got music bumping. It's fun. Well, they have the tables where at a certain time, all of a sudden dancers get up on boxes like behind the tables and they start dancing.
Right.
None of them are good looking, but as I was playing, it was like getting later and later, and I'm getting really trashed, and I started winning big.
Yeah.
Like I'd win like $400 or $500 in a hand at this poker game, and like all the dancers or whatever are cheering, and so Dally sees one of these dancers, and he's like, "Oh, can I tip her?" Because I would win, and they'd all start cheering. So I was like, "Dally, watch this," and I would take $1 chips, and I was like throwing them at them, and they would like catch them. And I was like, "Okay, you ready?" And I'd like throw 2, and they're like, they would not miss. It didn't matter how you threw them; they would not miss. So I give Dally a chip, and he like walks over and hands it to this girl in the box. So anyway, we party till like 3 a.m, right? And they stopped dancing at I think 2 maybe. I'm trashed. I get up to leave. I'm so drunk I can't see past the table. So I'm like, "Oh, Dally and Ronnie must have left." So I leave. I have to walk all the way down the strip back to the hotel. So they have to chase after me. Well, the next morning I wake up, and I remember I sat down at the table and I put $300 down.
Right.
And I remember just winning piles of money. And I was like, dude, I must have thousands of dollars. And the next morning I look and I count my chips, and I have like $240. And I'm like, what? How the hell did I lose? I was fucking killing it. And so I'm talking with Dally and about it, and he's passed out in bed, just kind of reminiscing. And I'm
Right.
like, man, last night was so much fun. He's all, oh yeah, you were throwing those chips to like the waiters and the dealers and the dancers, because I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, it's but I just won $100. I'll throw $4 out to these
Right.
people, and they're all like, yeah, and they're all cheering for me. And I was like, yeah. And Dally goes, man, I just red chips just, and I'm like, no, they were white. And he's like, no, they were red. And I'm like, Dally, the red chips were $25. And he's like, oh shit, you were throwing a lot of them. I was like, no wonder they were all cheering for me. My dumbass is throwing $25 chips out. I'd win $50 and throw out 100 in tips. Stupid ass.
Oh shit.
So I got to drink for like 6 hours, partied my ass off, had a ton of fun, and it only cost me $60. So it's
Solid.
still a win, but
Right.
I can't believe I was so stupid. So now I don't tip anybody.
Right.
You bring me a drink, here's $2.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vegas with you would be a fucking blast.
Oh, I'm the Vegas guy. I
Yeah.
love it, and I've been so many times, so I feel at home at Vegas.
Right.
Well, we're gonna do a trip with Tatum. Are you gonna go to that?
Yeah.
For his 21st?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
Oh yeah.
I get crazy.
Yeah. No. I lived in Vegas for a year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably didn't go down to the strip much, did you?
No, I lived in Northeast Vegas, and dude, living up there, like you could look and see the strip from where I was at. You can just see all the filth down there.
Isn't that like by the racetrack
Yeah.
up there?
Yeah, by the auto auction and the racetrack and all that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I would never live there again.
I went there the first time I was there with Dally. I drove him up the strip to go see it. We got there at night, and Dally's getting all excited, and I had the Raptor, so he's out the moonroof, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Dude, you can say or do whatever you want. You ain't ever gonna see these people again." And he's like, "Okay." And he's having a blast, and there's this group of people walking by. I'll say group of people so I don't single anybody out. And Dally yells at them. Not bad.
Right.
Like, it was a good thing that he yelled at him, but he just made a fool out of himself.
Right.
And we're way down on, like, the east side of the strip.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Goes west to east.
Something
Anyway,
like that.
we're way on one side. So I drive all the way back to the farthest other side of the strip. We go into the casino. We're messing around. We sit at a bar. And lo and behold, I look over, and the group of people Dally yelled at, made a fool out of himself, walk up and sit right next to us.
Oh, shit.
And Dally looks and he goes, "You said we'd never see them again." And I was like, well, apparently I was wrong. And they looked and like recognized us.
Uh-huh.
So we took off, and they stayed there. We went and gambled, watched them. They stayed at the bar. We left and walked to the middle of the strip to another casino, started playing on some machines. 30 minutes later, the same group of people came and sat at the machine behind us.
Oh, shit.
Deli's like, I'm not saying shit because apparently whoever you see on the strip, you're going to see the whole time you're here. I'm like,
funny.
You're the only person ever to run into the same people on the strip.
Right.
It's normally not like that.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Oh, we had so much fun.
I haven't had anything like that happen, but I remember one of my buddy's bachelor parties. We stayed like right next to Fremont, and
and you survived?
Yeah.
You didn't get shot?
No, dude, no. We stayed in the downtown Grand.
How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Dang. It's sketchy down there.
No, dude. We stayed in the downtown Grand, and we ended up walking around Fremont at night, and that was a little sketchy. Like lately, it's been pretty bad, but we went and we were walking the strip, and it was Friday evening. We walked the strip, and out of nowhere, some gal comes up to us, and it's just like, "Hey, here's some drink cards." We're like, "Oh, cool." She's like, "Follow me." Don't ever do that. We did. We followed her. And so we're walking. I think we were by like the Venetian. And so we start walking down. And then we cut this corner. And we start walking down this row of like shops and stuff. And I'm like, we're going to fucking die. Like it just didn't seem right. And then next thing you know, she like leads us to this little like corner bar. Tiny ass. I swear to God, dude. It was like the size of this room. And it was just packed with people. And so we all got free drinks, and we're like, all right, cool. This is fine. Like hanging out. It's kind of like a little sports bar. Next thing you know,
they lock you in.
No, this group of elderly women.
Oh, no.
Come in. I mean, I say elderly, but like, I mean, don't take offense to this, but over the age of 45.
Okay.
And they're all in there, and they're partying, you know, living their best life.
And they get rowdy. That's the rowdiest group of people at a bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the 45-year-old, the five of them together? They're loud.
Yeah, when they're like, "Oh, we're away from our husbands," blah!
And they rape you.
Yeah,
they'll grab you. They'll pull you.
They were trying to flirt with us hard, and so much so that they went and bought us all shots of Fireball, and like came up and like forced it to us. They're like, "Take it."
So they didn't like you, huh?
No. Well, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "This isn't gonna end well," because you know I've got a bad rep with Fireball. And,
you do.
Yeah. Let's say when I got married, I drank way too much of it. And even before that, there was a night we were sitting around a campfire and we were all drinking beers and passing around Fireball. Mm-hmm. And apparently I was the only jackass that was actually taking like big swigs of it.
Everybody else was like,
yeah, they're like, okay, here you go. I'm just like, okay.
They'd lick it up.
Yeah. So,
Fireball.
Yeah. So needless to say, I was hungover and fucking puking for like 2 days after both instances. But yeah, no, did the shot of Fireball and it was fine, but we were all kind of like, all right, we need to like sneak the fuck out of here now. Like we got free drinks, we need to go. And made it out of there alive, and then went to Fremont, and then one of the guys, because I mean you can buy weed at the shops there now.
Yeah. Oh, they have the biggest dispensary in the world, Area 51.
Yeah, no, dude, you can freaking go to one of the gift shops and buy a joint for like $50.
Yep.
So one of the guys bought a joint.
$50.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but he what was a fat one too, dude. It was like this freaking long and like ridiculous. But so he lights it up and we're hanging out on Fremont, which you're not allowed to do.
You're not allowed to smoke on Fremont?
You're not allowed to smoke on Fremont.
Okay.
Well, so he starts smoking it, and he was an avid pot smoker, and he's like, man, this is shit.
This is
so he
skunk weed.
Yeah, so there was this homeless dude, and he was just like, hey man. He's like, here, you fucking want this? He's like, this is like, I don't want it. And the dude's like, oh yeah. So he hands it to this guy. We walk like 20 feet away. Literally, as soon as we step away from it, LVPD comes walking up to that dude and starts questioning him about it. And we're like, we need to fucking leave.
I got it from them. No, yeah, I've never seen that fucking guy before.
Yeah, needless to say, after that, we just left and we didn't go back on Fremont.
Last time I went on Fremont, I've had a lot of fun on Fremont, making fun of people and seeing what's going on.
Right.
And last time I went, I took Shelby, my mom, and Craig.
Uh-huh.
And we went up there, and it was scary. to where the whole time all I was thinking is like, I wish I had a gun. I wish I had a gun. I wish I had there was a couple people there that were running around that I swear had a bomb in their backpack. These guys that were like, you saw I Am Legend?
Yeah.
They looked like the zombies out of that. And they were running around like trying to run into people with no teeth. And they had a backpack and he would like set it down and start laughing and run away.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And so I finally put a stop to it. I'm like, we're leaving.
Right.
And I had a beer cup with, I don't know, half an inch of beer in it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm walking out, and all of a sudden this guy comes and shoulder checks me and puts his hand in my beer, like as if he was dropping something.
Right.
And then just stops. So I get shoulder checked. I watch him do it. And then I look at him, and this guy's just like hanging out, looking at the ground and not looking at me. And I'm all, what the fuck? So I'm looking for something fizzing in there. And I'm all, okay, he's obvious. This all happens in a second.
Right.
I'm like, he's not trying to rape me, right? I wouldn't think. I'm like, I'm with people, and I'm twice this guy's size. I'm like, so what's he trying to pull here? Why would he put something in my drink? And while all this is going on, I hear this cackling going on behind me, and I turn, and there's these 4 women going, oh no, fuck him up, that's fucked up, I saw that, fuck that guy, and like screaming and yelling about fuck that guy, that's so fucked up. And so I look back at him, and I look back, and they're holding their phones like down by their waist, filming. And so I just start laughing. I was like, you guys got to work on your performance. And I walk away, and that guy took off. I'm like, all they wanted was for me to hit that guy, and they would get a lawsuit out of it. I was like, out of all the people here, bro, all these foreigners, all this stuff, like you're gonna pick me that you want me to hit you. That's all right. That's how we're gonna roll.
Yeah.
So I caught on real quick. I'm like, oh, they want a lawsuit and they'll sue me or extort me for money. And I'm like, that guy's fucking ballsy. If he's gonna take a punch for $100 or whatever I got,
right?
Because imagine if I was crazy or just some asshole and just fucking whoop up on him.
Oh yeah.
Change his life.
Fucking night.
Like, was it worth it for your $100? And I'm like, what? Your video? I have eyewitness testimony saying that you tried to drug me and you hit me first.
Right.
Well, we see you hit him, whatever. So after that, I haven't been back to Fremont. I know that was a long story, but
yeah, no. The I won't say any names, but there was a time I was out there, and one guy decided he was going to buy some Coke while he was out there.
Oh, nice.
He bought an 8-ball of Coke.
Why are you telling this story about me?
So he bought an 8-ball of Coke.
Okay.
For $100.
What's an 8-ball of Coke?
Okay.
That's not an actual
No, it's not the size of an 8-ball.
Okay.
So an 8-ball is like a tiny amount. Okay. I've never done Coke. I don't actually know. So if any of you care to enlighten us what the actual size of it is, that'd be great. But it's smaller.
Like a gumdrop or something.
I would imagine something like
that.
Yeah.
Beer, like a beer cap.
But like a bouncy ball size.
Okay.
Something around there.
I can dig it.
This motherfucker buys a $100 8-ball that is bigger than the size of my fist. And
that didn't raise any questions. Man,
there was no questions raised about that.
Man, cocaine's pretty fucking cheap.
Well, so he buys it and then finds out it's just fucking flour.
Oh my gosh.
And so he was pissed, and he's like, I'm going to go back down there. I'm going to find that guy. I'm going to fuck him up. I'm like, I just cut your losses and walk away, dude. Like,
I'd say you got off pretty cheap at $100.
Well, and shame on you for being like, wow, that's a lot of Coke for $100. Great deal.
You should work for Costco. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Yeah. So, yeah, it cracks me up, though, some of the shit that I've seen being out there.
Oh, yeah. It never surprises me.
Yeah.
Or
the gals that walk around like they've got like the wings on them. They just got fucking pasties on. They're like, oh, take a picture with me. Oh, dude, one of them got so fucking offended. So when we were there for the bachelor party, and they were not attractive at all. Like, I swear to God.
They never are.
No.
They're so bad.
And so one of them, like, Well, one of them walks up and like kind of talks to us, and we're like, "Oh, fuck it, yeah, let's take a photo." And the chick legit looks me in the face and goes, "I usually get tipped $40 for every photo." And I just looked at her. I'm like,
$40?
"I've got $5 in my wallet. Here you go." Like, that was it. I was just like, no, she was so fucking offended. I'm like,
Oh,
sorry. I was like, these other guys have cash on them. I don't. I was like, here's $5.
so I was walking in a big group of people, and there was the girls who dress up as cops standing on a corner, and there's like a 10 or 12-foot circle around them of no people, and then a pile of people like squeezing through one lane of traffic each way.
Right.
Like nobody wanted to walk in between them. And so I was like, well, fuck that. So I just walked through them, and I have a big group of people behind me.
Right.
And one of the cop girls fucking spanked my ass with this leather thing.
Yeah.
Hard as fuck. And I did not flinch. I just kept going. And Dally's like, dude, when she hit you, I thought for sure you were going to turn around just nuke this girl. Just whap. But everybody there was like, ooh, like waiting for something to happen.
Right.
So then later that trip, I'm with Dally and Ronnie, and we leave one of the hotels, and those girls are like, come take a picture, come take a picture. And Ronnie has no shame. He'll fuck with anybody.
Right.
So he's like, okay, we'll take some pictures. So I didn't want to be part of it. I let those two get in it, and they make these girls do all these different poses, like a full photo shoot, right?
Right.
And then some Asian guy comes up, and he's like, I'll take a picture for you. So I go and get in, like Dally and Ronnie are holding me, and they're making these girls do these weird poses behind us. And so at the end of it, Dally and I just walk away. So she's like, we get tips. And Ronnie's all, well, you didn't say that. You just said, let's get a picture together. And she's like, we get tipped. And you're going to have to delete those if you don't. And he's like, are you going to take my phone and delete them? And he's like, hold on. You're right. I should tip you. So he pulls out $1. He gives it to the girl. And he's all, there you go. She's all, a fucking $1. He's all, buy yourself something nice.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, I laughed so fucking hard. I was waiting for some guy to come up and, whoever like handles them or protects them.
Fucking handles them.
I was waiting for some guy to come out and be like, hey. And I was like, Dally, we're going to be in a fight here in a second.
Oh, shit.
I love going places with Ronnie because he'll just fuck with people. We're supposed to get tipped. Here's $1. Buy yourself something nice. What about her? Split it between the two of you. Oh, that's what he said. Split it between the two of you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no, that's... if I've been drinking, I'll be like that. I have no shame when I drink.
Yeah, me too. A lot.
Yeah.
Well, I have shame if I'm with Shelby.
Right.
I like keep it professional. And
right.
I'm like the guard dog. If she's gone and we're just hanging out dudes,
yeah,
it is off the chain. Here we go.
Right.
We are going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And I get funny, I think, when I drink. Like, I start making people laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're sitting at a poker table, and it's a table that you can show your cards to everybody. You can show them to the dealer if you want. Right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just, I would ask the dealer, what do you think I should do? Whatever. And so, I put glasses on. I'm pretty torched, and I put glasses on, and this new dealer came and started ripping me a new ass. She's, you take those off. You're not allowed to have them. And I was like, why? Is it going to show me the fucking answer? And the whole casino starts, all the people around us start laughing. I was like, if I was sober, I'd never do that. That's kind of rude. But This lady had it coming. I thought it was pretty funny.
Right.
I don't understand why you can't wear sunglasses.
Well, because you might be counting cards, Rain Man.
It's under the table. I can't see it. It's 6 decks. It's just what she deals me is what I got. I don't play blackjack. It's too much math.
Right.
I'm good if I get there and I'm sober. Start drinking.
Sir, you've got 20. Hit me. Sir, you have 20. Hit me.
Yeah. Oh, I want 35.
The highest amount wins, right? Sir, no.
Just play roulette where you just throw money randomly at the table.
Right.
Here, let's put it here. There you
I
go.
bet my stimulus on green.
I bet if we go, Tatum would be the guy who put all his money on the green and would win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Although I have a feeling we're going to have to watch Tatum.
I don't. He's not a runner.
No, I just meant like he'll get drunk and do something stupid. Where my bitches at? Give me my phone.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to watch after you. I don't think I've ever seen you torched.
Okay, yeah. Me, single, torched.
See, this is a problem. Shelby's going to listen to this episode and be like, you are not going to Vegas with those two numbnuts. You're married and they're single. You're not going to Vegas.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, Shelby.
Why, babe? I'll just leave and go gamble.
Yeah.
They start getting into shenanigans, I'll leave.
God. That's going to be a bad time.
Oh, that was
it's going to be a great time, but a bad time.
That was another thing that Ronnie haggled. There was these guys that were selling tickets to a club. And they're all dressed real nice and they're working it pretty hard. And so we go over there in our business mindset as we're trashed.
Right.
We start talking with these guys and they're offering us and we're like, what can you do for us though? Like, having the three of us is going to boost your sale. Like, we're trying to sell this guy to where I got this guy. We talked to him, left a couple hours later, happened to come by. He was back. I happened to get this guy wanting a job from us. Because we convinced him of so much shit, okay? So he wanted $50 a person and then us to buy 2 drinks minimum in the club to get into this place. By the time we got done with this fool, he let us in the club for free and gave us 3 free drinks. We got into this club. It was such a piece of shit. There was only 2 people in there. And they were sitting on this couch making out. We get up there. There's no one in there. We tried to get a drink. And the lady wouldn't even look at us. She's like on her phone. And we're like, hey, yelling at her. She wouldn't even look at us. We just left. He was like, you're out so soon? We're like, yeah, it's a good thing we didn't pay because we'd come down here and roll you and get our money back. We had this guy all sorts of confused.
That's fucking
Sweet
hilarious.
talking. It went over we worked on this guy for like 2 days before finally he's like, come on, come with me.
No shit.
He just wanted to get us in there and get us to leave him alone.
Just get you in there and fucking disappoint you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else is going on in your life? We just tackled the Vegas thing.
Not a whole lot.
Just working?
Yeah, I'm just working and living the single life. I'm getting back into riding finally.
Are you? I was just going to ask, are you riding?
Yeah. No, I'm actually, after this, I'm going to go load up my bike and...
You're going down there tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you riding with friends?
Yeah.
That's cool.
No.
Down in Phoenix?
Yep. I mean, weather permitting.
All you do is track ride, huh?
Yep. I hate trail riding on my bike.
Really?
Yeah, suspension's not set up for it.
Huh. Track riding would drive me nuts.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, yeah, it gets repetitive, but at the same time, it's nice because then you can kind of like hone in your skills.
For track riding?
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, not a whole hell of a lot.
No news is good news.
Yeah. I mean, I got to renovate my house, but that's about it.
What are you going to do?
The fucking whole thing. So
the whole thing?
Yeah, the
Just
whole thing.
Build a whole new
Yeah,
house?
whole new house. No, so
if anybody's looking for a house to buy, we have one that we can ship to you.
Yeah. So when you pull in my driveway, the deck that's back there,
Yeah.
I have to redo that whole deck.
Tear it off and redo it.
Yeah, because that gets hit by the sun and all the weather.
Yeah,
then,
it is it's like always in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole inside, I got to tear out all the flooring. I'm going to do wood flooring all throughout.
That's cool.
And then tile in the bathrooms. I got to redo the countertops.
New cabinets? Or
No,
just paint them?
I'm just going to paint them and then do new hardware on them. And the countertops, I'm going to do that acrylic crap to them. That stuff that you like pour on and then heat up.
Make it look like marble?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
There's no sense in me going balls deep with like granite countertops or anything in that house. Because
I'm just spend another $8,000.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to renovate the whole house and sell it. It's not like.
You are?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Buy another one or?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I want to get something that's a little bit bigger and something that's got like an actual yard to it.
Bigger?
So
your house is pretty big.
Well, yeah, 1,600 square feet.
That's it?
Yeah.
God, it feels like 2,200.
Yeah. No.
The way it's laid out makes it feel so much bigger.
Right. But no, I want to get something a little bit larger. I may look at this area out here because,
I'll sell you this house.
yeah,
It's only 13, but you can add on to the back.
right. With lots of permits. No,
It's Chino. There's no permits. You can do whatever the hell you want back here.
but yeah, no, I thought about moving somewhere out here or finding someplace out in PV where it's a little bit cheaper.
Don't go to PV.
No.
Do something out here.
Well, I was looking at Pronghorn though, because there's some nice homes in
That's
Pronghorn,
fine. That's not PV. That Viewpoint, Pronghorn, that's all. It's on the other side.
Yeah.
PV, a little
Yeah.
trashy. Lots of crime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I lived out in PV for 4 years. There's a lot of crime out there.
Yeah. Well, no, I lived in Granville for 2 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
I lived in Granville too.
Yeah. The old section.
Yeah.
The
Where all
when
the
you, when you get off 89 on the Glassford left hand side.
Nope.
Oh.
In the new side.
Oh yeah. No. See, I was on the old side, the left side.
You know when they built the new side and they put in all those duplexes in there?
Yeah.
I had one of the duplexes.
Oh, gotcha.
So, in my entire street and all the little cul-de-sacs on it, it's like a half a mile street, and there's like 8 cul-de-sacs going down it.
Right.
Out of the whole thing, I was less than half the age of the next youngest person. Everyone was over like 70 years old.
Right.
And then there's me. I'm 21. Hey
Yeah.
guys, how's it going?
Yeah. No.
So-
that's most of our neighbors when we were out in PV. It was just the neighbor I had across the street. He was in his 70s, retired from Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, that's how he talked. He was cool as shit.
Really?
Yeah.
My neighbors were this old couple, and I would just talk to them out in the yard, just, oh, hey, how's it going? And one day they brought me a bunch of food, like for Christmas, a bunch of fudge and a bunch of cookies.
Right.
And they brought it to me, and they're like, hey, would you like to come over and have a beer? And so I was like, yeah, sure. I was like,
And that's how he ended up in his first 3-way.
yes. Viagra works wonders. So I went over there. I was like, I don't want to be mean. I'll have a beer real quick, and then I'll leave. So I go over there, and I swear, have not talked to a person in 15 years. I got stuck over there for 2.5 hours trying to leave the entire time.
Right.
They're super nice, but it's like, I feel like their kids aren't around or whatever.
Right.
And they were just wanting to get me hammered, and they just wanted to talk about everything under the sun.
Yep.
So once I finally got out of there, constantly they're like, you want to come have a beer and talk?
Sorry, busy, gotta go.
And then when I moved out, they were like devastated. They were so sad. They're like, it's so nice to see a young man with his life together, and who knows who's going to move next to us. I'm like, probably a 1,000-year-old person like you.
Right.
And you guys can sit all day and talk about whatever you want. But guess what? Not me. I got a job. I got friends. I got a girlfriend. I'm going to go do that. I don't want to sit here and talk with you every single day.
Yeah, see, when I lived out in PV, that was the only neighbor I talked to. Like, I didn't really talk to any of the other neighbors.
Gotcha.
They were all friendly, but the second I moved out Williamson Valley, didn't talk to any of the neighbors. Like, I would run into them, but there was a neighbor that lived like right behind us, and he was friends with the previous owner. And the previous owner of the house, like, he had more than 30 days to move out. Like, that was the like, when you move into a house, if somebody's living there, once you get the ball rolling, all right, you got 30 days to move out.
Yeah.
And then at that 30 days, whatever's on that property becomes whoever's buying the home.
Okay.
And so this dude just drug his ass with moving out.
Didn't want to move in.
No. So we moved in the day before Thanksgiving. And it was a Wednesday. And the dude was still clearing shit out from the garage. Everything in the house was cleared out. The garage still had stuff in it, and then apparently the barn still had stuff in it. And so I told the dude, I was like, okay, well, you can come back tomorrow. I'll let you come back tomorrow and get the rest of your shit out, which it would have been Thanksgiving Day. But I'm like, dude, you can come get the rest of your shit, and then that's it. You're not allowed on my property anymore. Like, this is owned by me.
We had a contract.
Yeah, we had a contract. This is now my property. And next day comes around, he doesn't show up.
Of course.
And I'm like,
And it's your fault.
Yeah. And so I'm like, whatever. Well, then I figured maybe the day after he'll call me. Like, I was still going to let him, like, up to the weekend.
Yeah, because
right?
you didn't want to deal with his shit either.
Right. And there was a lot of shit still in the barn, too. And I was like, I need all this moved out so I can start putting my shit in.
Is there another one? You're drinking too, so I'll drink this one.
I know.
Sorry.
But so I was waiting. I was like, oh, maybe the weekend he'll come. Like, he'll call me or something and just be like, hey. Like, if he would have called me and been like, hey, I can't make it until this day, then I'd been like, okay, not a problem.
Right.
Well, I didn't hear from him. And so I was like, and I knew he had my number. Well, so then I ended up taking the shit that was in the barn and I took it to Goodwill.
And he lost his shit.
Oh, dude, he fucking like 2 weeks later calls me and he's like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Can I come get my stuff? I was like, it's not here. He's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, it's gone. And I was like, dude, possessions, 9/10 of the law. Like that became my property the day that we took over the house.
Why would he want to leave his shit with you having access to it?
I don't know.
I would never be like, yeah, you can hold my shit. I'll come get it someday.
But my thing is it wasn't like it was anything important. Like everything was covered in dust. Like it was clearly sitting out there for years. And he tried throwing a bitch fit about it.
You're like, go to Goodwill and buy it back.
Yeah, and that's what I told him. I was like, it's all at Goodwill. I was like, you fucking want it? He's like, well, do you still have like my lawnmower and leaf blower and stuff? I was like, yeah, I do.
And they're mine now.
When I was like, and they're mine. He's like, well, can I get them back? I was like, you know what? Fine. I was like,
I'll sell them back to you.
no, I just told him, I was like, fine, take your shit. And the whole time, I can't believe you would do this to me. I'm like, get the fuck off my property. Like, I was so pissed.
I can't believe you
him.
do this. We had a contract for you to get the fuck out of the house. So I bought the house.
I was so fucking mad. And then
was
literally.
he the owner of the house?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's even worse. I thought it was the guy renting it.
No. It was the owner of the house. And he was trying to like trailer all sorts of shit to like multiple different houses. Like, to store his stuff. I'm like, dude, just get a fucking storage unit.
If you went to sell your house, don't you think you'd make a plan?
Yeah.
You would think?
Yeah. You would pre-clean your house. So he was really good friends with the neighbor that was behind us. And that neighbor came over one day when I was like changing the code on the front gate and everything. He came over and he starts talking to me. He's like, oh, you know, I was real good friends with him and I heard you fucked him over. And I just like stood up and I looked at him. I was like, listen. I was like,
here's the story.
I was like, this is what the fuck happened. I told him he had this time. I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. I got rid of his shit. And he was just like, oh, well, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like,
you got
scoot
his
along,
story.
like, fuck off my property. Like, dude, I was such an asshole to everybody there because everybody was like so close knit. That neighbor even came up to me. He's like, oh yeah, this gal that lives right across the road from you, you know, the previous owner and myself, we would go over there and mow her yard for her because she's not capable of doing it. I was like, well, good for you. Guess who's going to be mowing it now? Just your ass.
He's trying to get you to do it.
Yeah, he's trying to get me to do it. And then
you're like, you know,
outside of the fence, in between the fence and, because I mean, we had 1.25 acres and it was all fenced in. And from the fence to the road, all sorts of shit would grow up. And it would grow back and all around the back of our property, but we still own the property that was outside the fence.
Right.
And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, you know, I use part of your property to access part of my yard. And I was just like, excuse me? I was like, you're coming on my property to access what?
Sean, well,
then
you should have been nicer.
Well, so then he's like, yeah, so if you don't mind, you know, mowing it and keeping it down. I'm like, there's no HOA here.
You want me to mow my yard so you can go through it to get to your yard.
So it hit a point where I never mowed it. And I mean, dude, I was getting weeds that were like this tall. And he would come over on his riding mower and he would do my whole like side fence and the back fence for me. So I'm like, cool, I'll just let it grow and then he'll do it. Finally, it hit a point where he stopped touching my yard because I wouldn't do it. Like, I think the first time was just like, look, see, I'll do it for you. Next time you do it.
See how nice it looks?
Yeah. So I just stopped doing it and then he stopped doing it.
And this guy sounds nice. I don't see what your problem is.
Dude, he would sit out on his fucking back patio and like, so in the backyard, we had patchy grass that was back there and like a lot of weeds that grew up. And so I'd go back there with the lawnmower and, you know, I just had a push lawnmower because I was cheap as shit. And which I didn't mind. It didn't take me that long. He would sit out on his back porch with his cigar and just watch me. And he called me one day, okay? He calls my cell phone while I'm mowing and I answer. He's like, you know, if you need help, I got a riding lawnmower I can come over there with. And I was just like, no, I'm good. Hung up and just went back to mowing. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
You should have had him. Yeah, will you help me? And then fuck it up.
Here's $1.
And not know how to drive and be like, what am I doing wrong? Can you show me?
Hit the biggest boulder.
Just let him go and do it.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like a nice guy.
No.
You sound like the asshole.
Yeah. No.
He offered to mow your yard. He did mow your yard.
Yeah. No. This dude was
and
weird.
he tried to help the nice old lady next door,
Yeah.
and you said, fuck her.
Yeah. No, I didn't like any of the neighbors there. Some of them were really nice. Like the one next door owned a bakery and everything. But like, I remember we never really talked to them. Like I'd wave at them. They had kids and everything. And one day there were like 7 sheriffs sitting out front. I was like, and that's the end of that. It was like nothing ever good comes from having that many sheriffs sitting outside the front of your house.
Well, I had a place in Prescott Valley, and it was a duplex, and the other tenant was this guy who I never talked to. The people who rented it out, they were like, oh yeah, he works at this restaurant, and they're like, but he's really quiet. You won't ever see him or deal with him. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I would never see him. I would see his car there.
Right.
And then go outside and it was gone. I would never hear from him, never see him, nothing. And this went on for like 8 months. And then finally one day, like I happened to see him and I was like, oh shit. Hey, how's it going? He's like, I'm good. And like went inside and I was like, okay. So another 2 months goes by and I'm like in my backyard and he happened to go out there to like cook something. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, I strike up a conversation with him because we had like a 3-foot chain link fence in between. And we like hit it off and I gave him a beer and we sat there. We sat there for like 3 hours with a chair on each side, just drinking beer, talking shit. This guy ended up being one of the coolest motherfuckers I like ever met. So he'd come home. I'd go over there. We'd hang out. He'd come over. We had parties with him. He'd come over. This guy was so fucking cool. And like within a month, he's like, hey, I got some bad news. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm moving to Philadelphia. I was like, God dang it. I meet this guy. He's all cool as shit. I was like, I'm going to get these loud ass neighbors that are going to be a pain in the ass. So he ended up leaving. So we had a short friendship. And then the people who moved in was like a girl, this lady and her daughter that I think were in some like protection program. And they would like run and hide in the house and
really?
Like keep it locked. And like one day I got their mail, so I went to like knock on their door to try and give it to them, and they would not come to the door. I knew they were in there. I was just like, okay, I'll leave it. They were like weird. So I went from quiet neighbor, ended up being cool, to really quiet neighbors that I never ever saw. But now I live here, and my neighbors, I don't know any of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's how I am right now too. My house, like,
oh, you know, one of them. You know the guy across the street that hates you.
Yeah, fucking that guy. Yeah, well, the other morning when it snowed, I let my truck run for like 15 minutes.
Is that necessary?
Yeah,
to let your truck run that long?
Is it a Bugatti?
Is it a Bugatti? Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's a new Bugatti F-150.
It's the new Bugatti pickup.
The F stands for fast.
Faced.
It goes 150 miles an hour.
Dude, I fucking like all my other neighbors. The one that lives right next to me, he'll go out on his morning walks when I'm leaving to work and he'll look at me like he has no idea who the fuck I am. And he'll just like, oh, who the fuck is this guy driving by at this time? And it's like, dude, like I live next to you. Like you see me every fucking day. But he legit acts like, I mean, he probably has dementia, but
I know my neighbors, but like I don't talk to them.
Right.
They don't talk to me.
Well, there's a couple neighbors like I know and I've talked to them, but I think I maybe said 15 words max to each of the neighbors.
Yeah. I got a weird story.
Okay.
So I just hired a new guy, and he...
The one that tried to get in Sock's truck?
No.
Oh.
Different guy. So he comes to work. I interview him, comes to work for us. And on the first day or second day, I go, hey, by chance, where do you live? And he goes, oh, I live out in Chino by you. And I'm like, huh. I never told him I live in Chino. I'm like, that's kind of weird. So then I ask him, wait a minute, how do you know I live in Chino? And he's like, oh, you live over here on this road. And I'm like, okay, I know for fuck sure I never told this guy what road I live on. And I'm like, how do you know that? And he goes, oh, your neighbor told me. And I'm like, okay. Turns out my neighbor is his girlfriend's sister. Okay. Huh. So I sit there and I'm like, okay, I've never in my life said one word to this woman ever. And she has never talked to me.
Right.
She is a go run and hide in the house type of person.
Right.
Will not say hi, nothing. So I'm like, how in the fuck did you guys put this together? And so I let him fill out his paperwork. The next day, I'm being drove crazy. I said, how did you know where I live? And he goes, well, she asked me where I was interviewing. And I said, I interviewed at the door store with you. And she said, oh, yeah, I know him. He's my neighbor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how does she know that? All this information? So I'm like losing my mind. Or sorry, this was the first day. So the second day after, I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out because he's like, I don't know. She just knows. So I come home and I tell Shelby and I'm like, have you talked to her? Have you told her who we are? I don't have stickers on my truck. How would she know what I do? I'm like, is she like an intelligence agency? Just come to find out, my father-in-law or stepfather-in-law used to live over here and would always be outside and friendly as hell to everybody. Well, one day she came over and talked to him and he told her our life story of who we are and what we do and where we work and all this. And she remembered and happened to tell him the whole thing. So my neighbor knows everything about me. I've never once said a word to her. She's never said a word to me. I've tried to wave and she just walked in.
Hold up though, to go back. Stepfather-in-law.
I guess that's what you call him. It's her stepdad, Shelby's stepdad.
So it'd still be father-in-law?
I guess, but
What are you doing, stepfather-in-law?
Are you stuck in the washer, stepfather-in-law? Well, I'm just assuming if I said father-in-law, you're going to think her real dad. If he hears that, he'll be like, I never said that. I never lived over there. I'm your father-in-law, damn it. I don't know. Stepfather-in-law. How would you say it? Just father-in-law?
Yeah, just father-in-law. Whether it be step or biological, it doesn't matter.
So I could tell you crazy shit. Do my father-in-law, Mike, and you'll be like, yeah, okay, Mike's his father-in-law. A week later, do my father-in-law, Rob. How many father-in-laws do you have? All of them.
No, it just sounds like a porn when you say step. Thanks, Internet. You've ruined everything.
They did ruin everything.
Yeah.
Well, then just think. Someday, Terry might be my brother-in-law.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you jealous?
I'm very fucking jealous.
Terry and I are going to be like tight.
Yeah.
That poor guy, he listens to this podcast. All we do is talk about him.
Yeah, every podcast that gets brought up.
I know. It's now a thing just to mess with Terry. Thank you for all the listeners for sticking through it.
Yeah. And thank you, Terry, for dealing with us.
Yeah, I don't know if he's dealing with us. He lives in a different city, so it's not like he has a say in what we do up here.
Dude, I still can't get over the fact